Hey YouTube. Well, today is the day. I've gotten a lot of questions since the car has been finished since August or so of last year. So coming up on a year now in this state of tune and with this build. Questions I've gotten is like, how much does it cost to build a car like this? So if you're going to go out off the deep end and you're going to set the goal of building like a 600 brake horsepower RS that's reliable, well, what's it going to set you back? So I guess just to review the car really quick. So 2016 RS. It didn't stay stock very long. It's currently making. Actually, I don't actually know how much power the car is making. The last time I had it on a dyno, which was August of last year, it made 515 wheel horsepower at 24 pounds of boost. So the car is now running. I've since turned it up to 27, 28 pounds. So you figure, 540, 550 wheel horsepower is probably a safe estimate. So car set up for flex fuel. It runs E85. I can run anything from E85 to 93 octane. So if you look down here, there's my flex fuel sensor. So the car is a truly flex fuel car in the sense that you can put 93 in it, and the ECU that the car is running will automatically blend between, or change boost and ignition timing to compensate for the type of fuel that's in the car. So without further ado, let's get to it. So what does it cost to do this? If you're talking about the engine, first of all, again, it's the engine. The car is fully built. It's got it was done by Full Blown Motorsports. It's got Manly I-beam connecting rods, extreme duty pistons. It's got some mild head work, and the head's done with titanium retainers, upgraded springs, and it's running Esslinger Stage 2 cams. All in, the engine build was around $7,500. So you can write that down. So $7,500 to start. The fuel system, which consists of this gorgeous, aluminum fuel rail that's done by Full Blown, the fuel lines, the flex fuel sensor, the this is an electronics gauge. So this guy will tell me what my current ethanol content is. I can show you guys that. Let me put the keys in the car here real quick to show you. So turn that on. And there you go. See, it's showing right now it's got E82 in there. So that's something that comes with the fuel kit. Close this up. And let's see what else. Oh, and injectors. So right now I'm running 1,000cc injectors on top of the stock DI injectors. I think they're 1,000cc or thereabouts. I've never actually gotten those straight answers to the actual size, but somewhere around 1,000cc for the stock DI injectors, and then another 1,000cc for each of these port injectors. Comes with this billet rail that you see here, this aluminum rail that sandwiches between the intake manifold and the head. And it provides plenty of fuel. So whenever I look at my fuel duty with this setup, I'm somewhere around just under 60% for the DI injectors and around 47, 48% at 28 pounds of boost for the port injector. So plenty of overhead. I can probably turn up a little bit more, but the car's been reliable, so why push my luck, right? So again, $7,500 for the engine, $1,800 for the fuel system. The next probably big ticket item is the Cybex. So the car is not running the factory ECU, it's running complete standalone. So when I say that, like, the Ford factory ECU is no longer in the car. As a matter of fact, if you look down here, that is what your factory ECU look like if you ever wondered. So there you go. It's where the harness connects to the this is where the ECU connects to the harness that goes in the car. And that's been taken out, and what's in there now, what's in its place, is the Cybex ECU. So with that, you get tons of awesome things. You get a unified fueling strategy, which is probably one of the best parts about it. So if you don't use the Cybex, you end up using a piggyback system, like a split-second box, where you're basically tuning two sets of fuel tables. With the Cybex, when you ask for 3 milliseconds worth of fuel at this RPM and this load level, this boost level, that's worked out between both the DI and the port injectors. So it's one unified setup. It's a much safer way to do things, and it works incredibly well. So $5,000 for that. That includes the unit and the patch harness to connect the secondary injectors, the port injectors, to the Cybex, as well as the additional wiring that you need to plumb the flex fuel sensor into it. So $5,000 for that. Next, we have the exhaust. There are probably cheaper exhaust options. I got one of 5 exhausts done by ETS last year that are made out of titanium. From the downpipe back, the entire exhaust is made out of titanium. Sounds pretty good. There's other videos on my page where you can actually hear it running, but as you can see, it's a dual tip titanium exhaust. If I get under the car, you can see one of the best parts about this exhaust is the fact that ETS incorporated a Helmholtz resonator. So let me get down here. You guys can see, you see that portion sticking down. This tube here that runs along the passenger side of the exhaust. What that does is it cancels frequency, a specific frequency that the exhaust makes, typically around when you're around cruising, so between 2,500 to say 4,000 RPM. So the net effect of that is the car doesn't drone. It's an awesome exhaust. I'm really sorry they stopped making it because it is well worth every penny. Amazing exhaust. It's also really light. I've never weighed it, but it weighs less than the stock exhaust. Sounds awesome, and there's only 5 of them, so that's kind of cool too. The turbo kit. The turbo kit was done by Full Blown Motorsports. You can see one of the wastegates there. The other one is down, but you can't see it. It's a twin scroll servo setup. Preserves the twin scroll, so the turbo lights off really quickly. Probably make, if I look at my logs, I make full boost right before 4,000 RPM, and then all the way to my red line, which is currently set at like 7,450, something like that. So still fairly conservative considering the build of the car. The turbo in the engine is the turbo in the kit is a GTX 3076R. Turbo's probably pushed hard is good for right around maybe just over 600 wheel horsepower. So again, I'm probably making somewhere in the neighborhood of 550. So it's in its happy spot. Works really well. That was $5,500. One thing I forgot to add on this list is a turbo blanket. I added that from PTP. It's the generic T3 turbo blanket. I think those are like 160 bucks. So not completely necessary, but good idea to have because there's a lot of heat back there. The next major item was the clutch. I'm running the twin disc clutch from Extreme. It's kind of loud. If you ever hear the car idling, it does chatter, but the pedal effort is pretty much like stock. It holds the horsepower really well, and once you're moving, it's incredibly smooth. It makes a little bit of noise whenever you're idling, and that's just the nature of twin disc clutches. So if we add all that up, the engine 7,500, fuel system 1,800, the Cybex 5,000, the exhaust system 1,750, turbo kit 5,500, and the clutch 1,800, we come up with a grand total of $23,350. Yikes. Now, what I have not included in this is labor. So unless you're doing all this yourself, you're gonna be paying someone to put it all in for you. And I figure, and if you're not tuning your car yourself, like what I'm largely doing, you're gonna pay someone to tune it for you. So conservatively, I set $5,000 for labor, tuning, and miscellaneous stuff. So things like, doing the catch can, like they had to, the shop that does a lot of my work, 2J Racing. Shout out to those guys in Cumming, Georgia. Like they had to modify this bracket to mount the catch can there because it doesn't work in the assigned location anymore once you have the big turbo kit on it. So there's that kind of thing. But all in, $5,000 is probably a safe and conservative number that would cost you over the years to put a setup like this together. So if you add that in, you add in labor and tuning, which is something that most of you are going to have, you're at $28,350 to duplicate this setup. So not inexpensive, not cheap at all. So you're talking about, effectively almost 30 grand on top of the price of the car. So you're somewhere right around $70,000 to duplicate this, but I mean, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, that's a ton of money. But if you figure what you're getting, you end up with a 600 horsepower, a reliable 600 horsepower manual transmission, turbocharged all-wheel drive car, which there's not that many of them out there, and you can't really buy anything in the market for that. So, when you look at it that way, it's not bad, but it is a lot of money. I mean, either way you look at it, it's do not do this unless you've got some spare cash laying around, or you're insane, or both. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of things that I haven't considered here. Like I haven't added the price of the wheels and tires that I have on here, the OZs. Those were around oh God, I think they're like $2,300, something like that. For the setup from Tire Rack, you guys can check me. I also have the KWV3s on here, which were $2,300. So again, you really, if you add everything up, like all the ancillaries, wheels, tires, suspension, and then like knickknacks like a custom shift knob, you're well over $30,000. So say, $33,000. So again, what I focus on here is mainly just the engine. Like, what does it cost from like a powertrain standpoint to build a very go fast RS that will hold up. The car at this point has just over, actually almost 15,000 miles on it actually. So it's been running at this state of tune. So thereabouts of around 550 horsepower for almost a year and over 11,000 miles. So it's the setup works. It works really, really well. I can't thank the guys at Cybex and 2J Racing and Foldable Motorsports enough for all their help and support with working all the little bugs and things out to get the car to where it is. And heads up to all the other parts around here. So I've got like I forgot that the stage 2, the blower engine mount, focusrs.org, what's up guys, Foldable Motorsports, Cybex, ETS, all the people that helped me out over the years with getting the car to where it is now. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I've got my YouTube channel. If you search for Cyphermonk on YouTube, you can find me, or just Ron Henry on YouTube, you'll find me. Please like, subscribe, share. I enjoy doing these videos, and when I see that people actually subscribe to my channel and enjoy the content, and more importantly comment, really makes my day. So again, if there's anything I can help with, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm an open book. I'm not really bad about hoarding info. If anything I can do to kind of save you time and money as far as building something like this, I'm more than happy to help do that. So again, thanks for watching, and have a great day.